Every morning, billions of people wake up and go to work. They trade time for money, year after year. A tiny fraction of human beings accumulate wealth so staggering it seems to belong to another reality. The question is not whether these people work harder than everyone else. Many of them do not. The real question is, how do they think differently? And can that way of thinking be learned? This film is not about worshiping the ultra-wealthy. It is about studying the architecture of their minds, the mental models, discipline, and frameworks that can be applied to your own life, your career, and your financial future. Researchers have long tried to map the psychological profile of the ultra-wealthy, and what they found is not what most people expect. When psychologists apply the Big Five framework to billionaires and top entrepreneurs, a consistent picture appears. These individuals score high on conscientiousness. They are disciplined, deliberate, and goal-oriented. They also tend to score low on neuroticism, meaning they stay calm under pressure and do not collapse when things get difficult. The trait that surprises many people is low agreeableness. That does not mean they are cruel. It means they are less dependent on social approval. They can hold an unpopular opinion, take a controversial bet, or build something the crowd does not understand, and still keep moving. When it comes to failure, many successful entrepreneurs show what psychologists call an internal locus of control. When something goes wrong, they ask what they could have done differently. If the problem is internal, it can be fixed. If the problem is always external, they remain powerless. There is one more element here that demands honesty. Talent is spread across human beings in a fairly normal pattern. Wealth is not. Wealth follows a power law, where a small number of people hold most of it. That means luck, timing, and circumstance play a huge role in who reaches the top. The lesson is not to ignore hard work. It is to reduce your dependence on luck by making better decisions more consistently over a longer period of time. In 2002, Elon Musk wanted to send a rocket to Mars. The prices he was quoted by aerospace manufacturers were enormous. Conventional wisdom said, "That is just what rockets cost." Musk did something most people never do. He asked why. Not the price, the parts. What is a rocket actually made of? He broke it down to raw materials, priced those materials, and found that the real material cost was only a tiny fraction of the total price. The rest was process, convention, and margin, layers of inefficiency baked into an industry that had not been seriously challenged. That is first principles thinking. Instead of reasoning by analogy, this is how it has always been done. You break a problem down to its most basic truths, then build the solution again from the ground up. Alongside first principles thinking sits systems thinking. Most people think in straight lines. A problem appears, a solution is applied, and the problem goes away. Reality is rarely that clean. Systems thinking views every decision as part of a feedback loop. Actions create changes. Those changes affect connected parts of the system. Eventually, the results return to influence the original decision. A company that cuts quality to save money may win today and lose its reputation tomorrow. A government that prints currency to solve a debt crisis may create inflation that becomes the next crisis. The most effective operators are often the ones who can see several loops ahead. They anticipate the feedback before it arrives. This connects to one of the most counterintuitive wealth principles ever stated. Goals by themselves are poor tools for progress. Winners and losers often want the same outcome. The difference is not the goal. It is the system, the daily process, the loop of consistent execution, measurement, and refinement. Set the direction with a goal. Make progress with a system. Jeff Bezos is known for a deceptively simple decision framework. He divides decisions into two categories. Type 1. Decisions are one-way doors, irreversible, high stakes, and difficult to undo. These deserve slow, careful analysis. Type 2 decisions are two-way doors, reversible and changeable. These should be made quickly, with roughly 70% of the information you wish you had. Waiting for perfection usually costs more than acting imperfectly. High-level decision-making is also a resource, and like any resource, it gets depleted. Every choice you make during the day draws from the same pool of mental energy. This is why some successful people standardize small decisions. It is why Mark Zuckerberg wore the same gray t-shirt for years, and why Warren Buffett treats simple routines as a way to preserve focus for larger decisions. The goal is to arrive at the important choices with full mental resources, not the exhausted remnants of a day spent on trivia. The third pillar of elite decision-making is the margin of safety. The public image of billionaires is often bold and reckless, but the reality is usually more cautious. The best long-term operators look for asymmetric bets, situations where the upside is large but the downside is limited and known in advance. Lose a little if wrong, win a lot if right. Repeated over many years, that asymmetry can build extraordinary wealth without wiping you out. Here is the single most important structural difference between the middle class and the ultra-wealthy. The middle class thinks in income, while the wealthy think in assets. An income mindset is linear. Work produces wages. Time is exchanged for money. Stop working, and the income stops. It has a ceiling, because there are only so many hours in a day. An asset mindset is different. An asset earns money while you sleep. It decouples your income from your time. The goal is to move beyond 1 hour equals 1 payment and enter a world of ownership, compounding, and leverage. Leverage comes in several forms. Capital lets money create more money. Labor lets other people's time multiply your output. Code lets software and automation work around the clock. Media lets one piece of content reach 1 million people at the same cost as reaching one. These last two are what Naval Ravikant calls permissionless leverage. You do not need anyone's approval to write software or publish content. You simply build it, and it can keep working for you. Warren Buffett has been investing since he was 11 years old. He is now in his 90s. And here is the fact most people struggle to absorb. Almost all of his wealth was accumulated after his 50th birthday. That is the power of compounding, not just money, but knowledge, reputation, and disciplined decision-making applied without interruption across decades. Buffett also offers a mental model that applies far beyond investing. He suggests imagining you have only 20 investment decisions in your entire life. When the card is full, you are done. That constraint changes everything. You stop reacting. You start waiting. You stop chasing noise. You start hunting for conviction. Bill Gates reads roughly 50 books a year, not as a hobby, but as infrastructure. For him, knowledge is not decoration, it is architecture. He also practiced think weeks, long periods away from meetings and daily pressure, spent reading and thinking deeply. Some of the most important decisions in Microsoft's history were shaped in those quiet stretches. There is also the 5-hour rule, a commitment to at least 5 hours per week of deliberate learning, reflection, or experimentation. 1 hour a weekday, less than 2% of your waking hours. Yet over a career, that small habit can create a massive gap between the person who keeps learning and the person who stops. The gap between the ultra-wealthy and everyone else is real. Some of it is luck, timing, and access. But a meaningful part of the difference is a set of thinking patterns that can be studied, practiced, and applied by anyone who uses them wisely.